Hello, and welcome back to the Options Professor podcast. This is Damien, and today is July 24th. I'm going to go through the Friday weekly recap just to show how my week went. Um, Obviously, we started looking at the SPY Sunday, and like I said, I wasn't sure if this market was going to continue to go up or down based on what we're seeing Sunday night in the futures. But what ended up happening was early in the week, we kind of saw SPY move in this direction up Monday to Wednesday, and then Thursday take a dump down, mostly because of some of the earnings reports and also the unemployment figures uh, kind of started to move this market in a negative towards the end of the week. I also talked about tech stocks and where they possibly could go. And same thing happened with the tech stocks. We look at early in the week, the stocks started to move up and then sideways Wednesday. Thursday, it just came down. And, we did have some earnings Wednesday. That was Tesla and Microsoft. And now their earnings weren't terrible. Tesla actually had profit for the quarter, which was really good. So we kind of expected Tesla to maybe move up. But if we look at Tesla, we finished Friday, I think around 1500, and then looking towards Wednesday into earnings, it was still holding, 1550, and then a pop Thursday up to almost 1700, and then with the market selling off, it closed Friday today at 1415. So the whole, if we look at all the stocks, it kind of just traded up early in the week across Wednesday and then down Thursday. So let's look at some of the trades I was in, and I did have some winners here early in the week. One of them was Home Depot. In Home Depot, I had bought a debit spread. So I bought the 257.50. So 257.50 is right around here. I bought these calls for the stock to go up, and then I sold the 262.50. And the reason why I sold that was I thought that was the 262.50 was an upper range. And so there's a $5 wide spread. I bought this for about 250 or 260 and then sold it Thursday when it hit a high of 267. I got out of the spread at 475. So made about 73% profit on this trade in 3 days. Really nice move. Set up my week to look really good. Another one that I was in was Roku. And so Roku, I did something a little bit different, did a credit spread. And Roku Monday was trading just under 150. I had a credit spread, sold it at the 145 level. And so I sold credit at 145. And this gave me expired worthless. So it gave me about a 38% winner for the week. So even though the market sold off, Roku still held that 145 and actually closed today at 152. So really good credit spread here. Not too worried. This morning did have me worried, but then after watching it, it kind of just moved up into closing at 150, 151 ish. So not a bad trade. Another 38% profit. And then another trade I was in that generated profit was IBM. So IBM had earnings this week. I sold credit on IBM on the top side. So when IBM had earnings, it jumped from 127 to 132 and then slowly died off for that day. So after earnings, it kind of just came down and floated down. So what I did here was sold the 130 calls in collected credit. I had sold it for next week to expire next week, but I kind of just wanted to get out of it and take profit today, collecting 25% profit on this trade. So those are the three main trades that I made money, but I also lost money this week because of that downshift. And so let's take a look at those. It wouldn't be totally honest, if I wasn't including my losers, one of them was Chewy, CHWY. So Chewy, I liked as a stock. I wanted it to hold a certain level. So what I ended up doing was selling puts at the 47. In the 47 seemed like a good place to hold, and it, for the most part, it did up until today. Today was the first day of the week that it actually broke the 47 level and came down. And so today this is the one position I had to watch, and I closed it in the last hour for a little bit of a loss. I think I took a 30% loss on this one. So not a total wipeout, but I had to realize a 30% loss on this one trade. Kind of unfortunate because it was holding the 200 and the 50 moving average, and then today alone it kind of just dropped. So not a huge loss on that one, but then I did have a big loss in Facebook. So take a look at Facebook. I was in this one for about a week. So last week I had sold the 240 level, and if you take a look here, we were holding that 240 level for, I want to say, for the past 2 weeks, and then Wednesday, Thursday happened. It was still kind of hovering around the 240 range, and then that whole drop with tech stocks Thursday happened, and it dropped down to 230. So I didn't close it out immediately. I kind of wanted to see if we could bounce back today, and that was not happening. So I ended up losing 100% of my risk in this trade. Another stock that I was in and I didn't take a loss on it was Walmart. So Walmart, I had sold the 130 level because I was thinking it's going to hold 130. Now it actually is holding 130. The trade wasn't set to expire until next week, but I wanted to get out of this today, not knowing if the market through the weekend and then early next week would drop. So I just came out of this being even, taking the risk off the table, and didn't want to risk anymore. So overall, it still had those 3 winning trades early in the week. That's the whole point of why you take your profits when you can, because you never know. Towards the end of the week, we had that downturn in the SPY and the QQQ. Stock started to sell off, and I could have easily been negative on 6 trades versus winning on 3 trades and losing on 2 or 3 trades and even on 1. Overall, the week for me was almost even. I think I was negative just a little bit, but considering the market was down, I'd take that kind of week anytime. So there was my week. I will be back on Sunday to look at possible trades we can set up for next week. But I'm happy to be out of this week with a very small negative. Hopefully your trading week went well and you were able to turn a profit or at least control your risk. Until Sunday, this is Damien, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you for tuning in.